If you're new to whiskey and you're having a hard time picking out notes, give this one a try. Take one of your favorite bourbons. I happen to have here a Bullet Bottle and Bond, and take a reasonable pour. It doesn't have to be a lot. Half an ounce should be fine. Into a glass. Give it a good swirl, and then empty that glass out into another glass, and empty it out well. So why would I do this? So I think a lot of people that are just starting out trying to get tasting notes or aromas out of whiskey can kind of get sidetracked by the ethanol. The burn smells like gasoline and you really can't smell anything else. So let's take that ethanol out of the equation. So we're going to coat the glass with some of your favorite bourbon. Give it a minute or two. You even come back to it 15 minutes later if you want. Doesn't really matter. It wouldn't come back 5 days later. And then very gently and a little bit at a time, kind of start under your chin and work that glass up under your nose and go from one side to the other. So why do we do this? Because by now, most, if not all, of the ethanol has been evaporated. So we're going to take that burn out of the equation. And then see what you smell. Now, you don't have to smell pie crust and Jolly Ranchers and things like that. Try to pick out the big notes. So what would be the big notes? Is it sweet? Do you smell wood? Do you smell anything else? Maybe cinnamon or leather or something like that. Or do you smell like a floral smell? And that's a great way to kind of start the process of getting your brain and your olfactory system, your sense of smell, trained to the bourbon. So what do I get out of this? I definitely get that oak smell. So oak is something that probably, even if you haven't thought about it before, you probably know what that smells like. If you've ever been to a wood shop or if anyone's ever done any work in your house, and you cut a piece of oak, you're going to get that kind of smell. It's that sweet smell, obviously woody. I don't know how else to describe it. In addition, I do get some cinnamon, and I do get some sweetness. Now, whether you smell that sweetness as caramel or brown sugar or anything else, Werther's candies, doesn't really matter. Just kind of pick out the big notes. So maybe pick out 2 or 3. Maybe you smell some wood. Maybe you smell some sweetness. Maybe you get another note out of that. And start with that technique. Give that a try. And again, I think probably if I came back to this glass in another 15 minutes or maybe even half an hour, you'd be surprised at how much you can get out of a glass that's been sitting for a while. Start with that and then go back to a glass that has some actual whiskey in it and see if you can pick out those notes. Do that when you do your tastings, and before you know it, you'll be picking out notes like a pro. Hope this helps. Cheers.